Hey guys, it's Dan O'Donnell here. I'm making a video in response to a question in the Chiang Mai Digital Nomads Facebook group. Daniel Douglas asks, hey Dan, I'd love to know more about your Merch by Amazon print-on-demand business, design method, and sales and ads methods. Thanks, regards. So Daniel, thank you for the question. It's always more fun for me to make a video in response to a question because I know somebody cares. And so if you guys are watching this and have other questions, please feel free to comment and ask. And I tend to respond to all of them, at least with a comment. But anyway, so merch. If you don't already know what merch is, it's Merch by Amazon, and it's their program for print on demand. It's only t-shirts, and basically the short story is you upload your designs, they sell on merch. Actually, it's just on Amazon. If you're doing a search on just Amazon.com, you would see these merch shirts, and if somebody buys one, they print one and they ship it, and you get a royalty. So you never touch any inventory, and the inventory, if you sell a shirt for $20, you're making $7.19 right now. If you sell it for $19.99, right now I'm selling my designs for a little bit less than that. I'm at $14.99, and I make $2.90 something, $2.93, $2.94. So basically, I sell them for $15, and I make $3 a shirt right now. I was selling at a higher number. I'll tell you why I'm at 15 now later. So Daniel wanted to know about my design method. I'm not a designer, that's not my background, but I've learned a little bit kind of on an as-needed basis. So I use GIMP, G-I-M-P. That's a free alternative to Photoshop or Illustrator. And I know a lot of people that are serious designers, they use mostly Photoshop and Illustrator, which is great. And I think if you've spent years getting to really know those programs, I could understand why you would use them. But if you're a guy like me and there's a free alternative that does everything I need, I just said, hey, GIMP looks good. Pixlr, it's got a funny spelling, but I know some other people that use Pixlr, and I've used it in the past. I think that's web-based. There's no download, if I remember right. I think it's Pixlr. So if you're just starting, I would check out GIMP or Pixlr probably. And it's a little bit complex at first, but there's tons of YouTube videos and different blogs and things where you can learn how to do whatever it is you need to do that particular shirt or design. So I really don't delay starting to go figure out how to be a designer. It's not worth it. My best-selling designs, actually, almost all of them are really simple, and a lot of them are text only. So that leads to my next, my preferred method really, where I do most of the design is in an app called WordSwag. So again, it's WordSwag, S-W-A-G. I paid $4 for it. Somehow my assistant got the same app for free. I don't know why I got charged and she got it for free, but it's a text design thing. I think it's mostly intended for things like Instagram and Facebook, Twitter. You can really quickly make an image. You can use any of your own photos for a background, but for shirt designs, you make them on a transparent background, and it's just so quick. You type in whatever your text is, and you've got a bunch of different themes that you can check out, and you can hit random, and it just kind of rearranges your text, and you go until you find something you like. You can change the color really quickly, and I mean, you can just bust out literally, like I do t-shirt designs in between sets at the gym, and or like while I'm waiting for my food at the restaurant, I might bust out 3 designs. So it's great, it's quick. If you're not a designer, I highly recommend it. If you are a designer, you might find it kind of limiting, or maybe it'll at least give you ideas. Anyway, so that's WordSwag, the best $4 I've spent as far as this merch business goes. I think that's everything on design for me. If you are using WordSwag, you can do the transparent background, but Amazon requires a specific dimensions for your designs, and it has to be 4,500 pixels wide by 5,400 tall. And WordSwag, at least right now, they won't do that exact dimension. So you can put it in a program like GIMP and change it, or if you don't know how to do that, the easy thing is go to merchresizer.com, and you just upload your file, and it automatically resizes it to those dimensions. The one drawback, you don't get to choose exactly where it expands, you know what I mean? So like if you want the text here on a shirt, it might end up being like a little bit down here or something. So if you know how to use GIMP or another tool like that, you can choose where it goes. So I prefer to do that. But before I knew how to do that, I just used Merch Resizer, and it was a lifesaver. So And speaking of merch resizer, that is a tool made by Elaine Haney, and she has a really good podcast that if you're new to merch, or even if you're not, I guess I would recommend that you binge listen to her podcast. So it's Merch Entrepreneur, and it's on Stitcher and iTunes and all of that. Or you can go to merchentrepreneur.com, and she's got some other links and like resources and stuff there too. So I would recommend checking it out, not just checking out the podcast. Um, and there's another site that I recommend, which is a guy named Chris Green, who you'll see him all over YouTube. You can also, on YouTube or iTunes or Stitcher or whatever podcast thing you use, search these people's names because they go on other shows a lot and you can hear them talk about things. So Chris Green, merchresearch.com, and he's got some really helpful tools there. The main idea of it is you can search for whatever your keywords is, like dog shirt or whatever, and it will send you to a page with the results that are only Merch by Amazon shirts. So I actually don't use that. I used to use it a ton, but now I just do the search on Amazon because I also want to see the shirts that aren't merch shirts. I just want to see the whole market. Like if I'm, typing basketball shirt, I don't want to just see the whatever fraction of the shirts are merch shirts. I want to see all of them, get all the ideas, see how everybody's selling. And also when you're looking at a niche and you want to see if anybody's actually selling shirts in there, there's a plugin. Let me see if I can remember what it's called actually. I think I got it on merchresearch.com. I think Chris Green made it, and it's a plugin that when you do an Amazon search, it shows the sales ranking for each not just shirts, but whatever you're searching. It shows the sales ranking right there underneath the listing, so you don't have to click on each shirt to see how well it's selling. So it's a really, it saves time to know if a niche is making a lot of sales. Let me figure that out real quick. What is it? I think if you go to merchresearch.com, he's got like a resources section and it's in there. Dang, what is it? I've got too many extensions, I can't even find it. Oh, DS Amazon Quick View. So the letter DS, Amazon Quick View. That's a big time saver. I recommend checking that out. Okay. So ads, I don't do them for merch, and that's a big difference. Like I used to do Teespring. If you guys have heard of Teespring, it was kind of a craze. I don't know, 2 or 2.5 years ago is when I heard about it. And some people I knew did really well with Teespring, and that was all about running running Facebook ads to your shirt. So a classic example would be something like, this Texas girl loves her, you can't say Yankees, but it would be like, this Texas girl loves New York, and it would be obviously a Yankees shirt because of the colors, and they'd have maybe an NY in there, do everything so they're not stepping on copyright or trademarks, but they would get really specific. So you're targeting people in Texas who like the Yankees, and in Facebook you can do that. You can target people who are like fans of Yankees magazines or Yankees Facebook pages or groups or whatever. You can target all these interests, and then you can target only people in Texas, and you can target only female and say, 25 or 30 years old to like 55. That's kind of your magic demographic of people who spend money. So you might have seen shirts that had like your last name on it. Like, because my last name's Irish, I saw a lot of O'Donnell's Pub, O'Donnell's Irish Restaurant, a lot of shirts like that targeted towards me. They actually, Facebook for a while quit letting people do that because I guess it was creeping people out that they were getting ads specifically for their name. I think the general public doesn't realize how much information advertisers have, so it was surprising to people that they could be advertised to like that, but that stuff's all out there. Anyway, so my point is, with Teespring, it was a lot of work. When you launched a design, making the design and putting it on Teespring were just a fraction of the work. Most of the work was running your Facebook ads, seeing which ad groups were doing well and which ones weren't, and raising your bid, lowering your bid, turning off certain ads, trying different images, It was really, for me, it wasn't fun. Some people maybe get a kick out of that, but like the guy I know a guy that was making $30,000 a month roughly on Teespring, And man, he was just working so hard, and he didn't want to sustain that for very long. He did that for, I don't know, less than a year, made a big stack of cash, and then quit before he had a heart attack or whatever. So it was a ton of work. And Merch by Amazon is the opposite. You cannot run Amazon ads right now for a merch shirt. They don't have that. Probably at some point they'll let you do that, like you can with other Amazon products, but not yet. And you can run Facebook ads and direct to your Amazon shirts, but most people that I follow aren't doing that. And like, I personally don't do that. I spend my time thinking about like, what's my next design, what kind of niche, what would be fun to do. And sometimes I'll share on my Facebook page. But honestly, I thought I'd have better results with that, because I have a Facebook page called Positive Thinking. It's 1.3 million people. And most of my shirts are inspiring, uplifting, heartwarming type of things. And I thought, great, yeah, I can just put up an inspiring design, post it on Positive Thinking, and then get my first couple sales right away on that design. But it didn't really work like that. So that's okay. But the organic traffic is where almost all of my sales are coming from. And, like, I still have a bunch of designs on Teespring that don't do anything. Without me running ads, I make a sale like every couple months, maybe. But Amazon just has so much more traffic. It's like having a booth in the busiest mall in the world. So it's the way to go. And I personally, with my personality, I like not having to spend all my time looking at spreadsheets and ad reports. So let's see, momentum. There's a bunch of things we could talk about with merch, but I don't want this to be an hour-long video. But basically, right now, I'm allowed to have 100 designs on Amazon. And when you're a new seller, they start you off at 10 now. And then when you've made 10 or more sales, you're eligible to go up to 25 total designs. And then when you've made 25 total sales, you're eligible to go up to 100, which is where I am now. And I'm at like maybe 70 or 70 something sales. When I hit 100 sales, I'll be eligible to go up to the 500 tier. And it also can take a couple months to get approved. I know a guy that got approved recently. It only took him a few weeks. Other people have been waiting months. So it's not just open to everybody, this program. So anyway, right now I'm allowed to have 100 total designs, and I'm allowed to add 2 every day. And a design, if it doesn't sell within the first 60 days, it will be removed automatically by Amazon. You could always upload it again, but it'll go away. They want to keep up shirts that sell. They don't want to have a bunch of junk sitting there. And they want to encourage people to load up stuff that's actually going to sell. So they limit me to 2 a day, and they get rid of my junk shirts that don't sell. So basically I've got about, I think 85 designs up right now. So I can do 2 more each day until I hit 100. And then I might have to wait a little bit until I made my 100th sale. And then honestly, I'm going to have to probably pester them, because a lot of times people will make the sales numbers that allow them to go to the next tier, but they don't get tiered up. So I don't know exactly why, but after I made more than 25 sales, I just sent an email to their customer service and said, hey, I made the number of sales. I'd appreciate if you go ahead and tier me up now. And I just kind of said it in a way like I expect it to happen, and I'm not mad that it hasn't happened yet, but just a reminder, friendly reminder to go ahead and do that when you have a minute. And I don't think I even got a response, but I got tiered up pretty quick. So it pays a little bit to be the squeaky wheel sometimes with Amazon. They definitely have stuff slip through the cracks. Amazon's awesome overall, but their customer service is, honestly, it's not the best. You'll get different answers from different people, and sometimes it pays to just bug 2 or 3 people about the same thing and not just rely on them to be like perfect and all-knowing. So let's see. I know some people are like nervous to bug Amazon. I don't know. I guess I'm not really sure. That doesn't make sense to me, but I think some people are afraid they're going to like upset Amazon. And I wouldn't look at it that way. I would look at it as, your partners, and if you want to put up more designs, you're going to make them more money. So remind them, hey, tier me up. Okay. I already went through the resources. Oh, I didn't mention trademarks. At merchresearch.com, he's got some links also to places you can do trademark searches. Amazon is pretty cautious about trademarks. and understandably so. They don't want to get sued, obviously, for letting people put up like Nike shirts or Disney shirts or something. Um, but I have one shirt that I cannot figure out. It was not approved. It said rejected because of trademark, but I can't figure out why. I don't see any words in there. I searched all the main keywords. I have no idea. So they really seem to err on the side of caution. And like one example, I did a shirt that had the word lightsaber in it, and it didn't say Star Wars. It didn't have an image that was like a Star Wars image or anything like that. It was text only, and it had the word lightsaber. It was just kind of a funny shirt. And I checked. I went to Trademarkia, I think. There's also Justia. Those are both on merchresearch.com. But I looked and I didn't see any trademarks at all on lightsaber. So maybe I don't understand trademarks fully, or maybe they're just really cautious with any word related to Star Wars at all. But that one didn't fly. I had another one that didn't get added, and I really couldn't figure out why, but it had the word Gandhi, like Gandhi's name. And I thought, maybe they're really paranoid about like celebrities and stuff, even though Gandhi's been dead for a long time. So on that shirt, I removed the word Gandhi and maybe removed another word or two, and then it got approved. So I'm not sure if it was actually Gandhi, but it seems like sometimes it doesn't quite make sense. But if you get a shirt rejected, just think of it from Amazon's side. If I was a super paranoid big company with like billions of dollars that didn't want to get sued, what would I not allow? And Trademarky is cool. It's interesting. You can search and you can see like I made a game called Better Me. It's a personal development board game, and there are tons of trademarks with the term Better Me, but they're for specific uses like seminars or there might be a course called Better Me or something, but nobody had trademarked a game called Better Me. So it's kind of fun to look at like your business name and things like that and see. I know a band back in my hometown of Bellingham who was going by the name Olio for, I don't know, at least a year, maybe a couple years, and then they got a notice, like a cease and desist from some band that they had never heard of that had the same name. So it kind of pays to, they had to change their name, but it would have been nice if they didn't have to do that and they could have just named it something originally that wasn't trademarked. But yeah, anyway, I hope that answers your questions. Today is actually my best sales day yet. I sold 5 shirts today, which isn't a ton. I'm not getting rich. I said I was going to mention pricing. I'm selling at $15 right now. The idea is I looked at the numbers and I ran the numbers and said, by the time I've got my 100 designs up, I'm at the rate I'm selling shirts right now because I was at $20. I'm going to have to sit around for like a month or two and wait for my 100th sale to happen and then get tiered up. So I didn't want to sit around twiddling my thumbs for that long. So I dropped all my prices to $14.99. So I make $3 a shirt basically, and my sales velocity has picked up. So hopefully pretty shortly after I get my 100th design uploaded, I'll have my 100th sale. And at the rate it's going, it looks like that was a good move. And also, once you start to make a few sales with a given design, it picks up momentum because basically the way I understand it, Amazon wants to sell more stuff. So if your design sells a couple, they know, okay, I should give this more reach. It's applicable, it's relevant, people are buying it. So you start to get more exposure for that design. So don't be discouraged if your designs start off real slow. After you make your first sale or two, you might start to see it pick up. And that was definitely my experience, and I've heard that from other people as well. So it's not a get-rich thing. It's not a get-rich-quick thing. There are people out there, listened to a lot of podcasts and read a lot of blogs. There are people making thousands of dollars a month, but it takes a while to get there. So you got to be patient, and it's kind of a slow and steady wins the race. Get better at this thing. See what works. Find niches that work for you. Make more variations on those shirts, and just keep plugging away at it. So there are quicker ways to make money, but you're building a stream of income over time. So I really like it. It's very hands-off, and I hope that helps you guys out. If you have any more questions, let me know. Again, check out the Merch Entrepreneur podcast. And one last thing. Jacob Topping, last name Topping. He has done a ton of content. He's on a bunch of different people's YouTube videos, like Hangout chats, and he's on a bunch of podcasts, and he gives really good specific information. He's also got a book out. I got it when it first came out, so it was like $37 or something. I think it's a little more now, but very detailed information. I would definitely go and binge watch and listen to all his interviews and stuff, and that book is definitely worth the price. So Jacob Topping. All right, guys, have a good one. Talk to you later. Let me know if you have any more questions, and if you like this video, feel free to subscribe, and I appreciate it.